bridge. This one does still serve today as a commercial and private thoroughway, 1891. Every single year, the day after Thanksgiving at 7 p.m., and not a moment too soon, the city does strike their master switch and more than 130,000 Christmas lights illuminate the walk simultaneously. This is always followed by a great big riverboat Christmas parade, and the lights stay on to the Monday after the Sunday for New Year's Day. Then the city begins a 6-week process of removing the 130,000 Christmas lights right out of the trees. But you know, it takes San Antonio, Texas here a mere day to put up 130,000 Christmas lights. In fact, this city is done before the sun goes down. There's a team of specially trained bungee jumping squirrels who scare up the limbs of the trees, jump off them legs so they can bounce on back up. Not a whole lot of people know this, you know. Even less people believe it. Look into the corner right side of the boat's iron sculpture right there, two hands reaching up to a chalice in the host. The iron sculpture commemorates the first Mass celebrated along the river in 1691. Notice those arrows on the artwork. They signify the conversion to Christianity of some of the natives. The artist's name is Rolando Grazinia. The artwork's title is Father, Mass in its table. Arrows set voluntarily upon the table. What used to be located on the right during the 1850s was known as Nate Lewis's Mill. We used to grind grain for the settlers throughout this area. The time of Nate Lewis's mill, his mill and his waterway, were two primary sources of sustenance for the people living inside and outside the city limits of San Antonio. In addition to any livestock or wild game, they may have had also partaken of. You know, I see everybody out here with the cameras and such. Everybody's always looking for that Kodak moment. That's all fine and dandy. Get your cameras ready to shut it here, y'all. I got a boat driver suggested Kodak moment before you come in. Huh? Sure, if you want to. Okay, look back here, right back here. Here goes a Kodak moment right there. Here's another Kodak moment. Look at down river. See that beehive spot structure with the green roof about it? That is the Barron County Courthouse constructed in 1896. That is the largest, oldest, continuously still active courthouse found in the state of Texas today. 1896, Barron County Courthouse. Then to the left side of the boat is the Tower Life building. The green top structure may have noticed from afar. If you gaze to the uppermost floors of the Gothic structure, you can see gargoyles up there extending from the uppermost floors. They go all the way around the top 2 times a day, doubling as water spouts when the heavy rains fall. Water cascades right out of the gargoyles' mouths up there. Then there's stone faces here at the base of the Tower Life building. 4 different expressions, 2 different faces, otherwise known as grotesques. In 1929, the Tower Life was known as the Smith and Young Tower. It's of a Gothic design designed by Robert and Natalie Ayers. They father-son team of architects. 404 feet straight up into the air. It's the only octagonal-shaped high-rise in the nation today from the 1920s, home to luxury offices, lawyers, and insurance people. This building on the right side of the boat, on the immediate right side of the boat, has no historical significance whatsoever. Actually, from 1919 to 1963, this is known as the San Antonio Pharmaceutical Company building. In 1995, the Homewood Suites Hilton people came out this way, and they added those 3 stories built offset at the top of the structure, the atrium, the stairwell, and the bench seating area. The building here is a perfect example of the adaptive response to reincorporating the buildings from the 1920s back into the mainstream of city life in downtown San Antonio. The R-Reg ends of the river are located approximately 4 miles north from us here, underneath the campus of Incorporated Word University. Underground springs are bubbling into the Edwards Aquifer. It's a vast underground lake that runs 180 miles northeast out of the city, and it varies in width anywhere from 5 to 30 miles at any given time. The reference depth, 700 feet. Other than that, not quite sure how deep the vast underground lake actually does run. It was once the city's only source of drinking water, has since become one of the city's sources of drinking water. Edwards Aquifer, San Antonio River. This building on the right was once home to the San Antonio Main Library, which has since been relocated to a brand new building, 3 times the size of the structure on the right side. The building on the right has been renovated. It's now known as the Vast International Business Center, facilitating business transactions between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. That traffic light before us beaming green underneath the traffic light below the surface of the water. This is where floodgate 4, there's a rising part of the water right there, to ward off floodwaters when the heavy rains do fall. Now we are approaching a 3-way blind turn here. I'm going to toot the horn precautionary measure. Don't be alarmed. Man, I love to do that. The river does flow. We're going to take a left turn and travel on. We'd all be going through 131 Texas miles, 26 Texas counties, emptying off to the Guadalupe River, a few miles in length in the San Antonio Bay, right off the Gulf of Mexico. As the river flows out there to our left, 131 Texas miles. But we're going to take a right turn here to what's known as the man-made channel. 25 foot deep now, 25 foot deep, and it tops off the horseshoe pattern. On the right side of the boat is the latest addition to the walk that allows you to walk all the way around. It's been completed by the people who have restored the building in the background on the right side. That is the Alamo Bank Building, 1929, now known as the Drury Plaza Hotel. Ever since the beginning of modern era San Antonio, downtown's flooded out repeatedly whenever heavy rains have fallen. The worst flooding to ever devastate the downtown area occurred in 1921. A combination of three storms struck San Antonio simultaneously. Not in sequence, the old San Antonio claim, but simultaneously. This combination of three storms dropped rain in the city non-stop for one day and one night. The river itself was recorded as having risen a foot an hour for 10 hours at one point during the course of the rainfall. The following day, when the skies were shining blue, downtown was found under 10 feet of water above street level where we are right now. This does imply that more than 30 foot of water dropped in the downtown area during that 24-hour span of time, and more than 50 people, they lost their lives. On a side note, drawn up on the left side of the boat is the original site of Old San Antonio, the main plaza. If you look up the steps across the plaza, you may catch a glimpse of the first significant building constructed in the city in 1738, right at the steps on the left side. San Fernando Cathedral, still standing, 1738. Resuming is a very serious proposal to simply eliminate the horseshoe pattern of the river. The part of the water we just left from us is only the beginning. In response was Emily Edwards and Raina Maverick Green, who formed the San Antonio Conservation Society, and together they managed to lobby any and every proponent in favor of paving over any part of the natural bed of the river whatsoever. Consequently, after City Council had taken the final tally, then Mayor Barbie Maverick Sr. contacted then President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who to the Works Projects Administration during the Great Depression had the initial construction of the Riverwalk completed between the years of 1939 March, 1941 March, 5 miles worth of initial Riverwalk construction, 2 years worth of work, costing a grand total of $430,000. Yeah, it was a bargain then. It's even more of a bargain today, yes indeed. Looking on the immediate right side of the boat right there are 2 trees that are growing out of the wall on the right side. There's one big tree on the right, it's a box alder tree, little one's a fig tree. You know, honestly, I don't know why and I don't know how, but there they are. 2 trees that are growing right out of the wall along the Paseo del Rio. You see, kids, stay in school, study hard, don't neglect your homework, finish your dinner, go to bed like you're supposed to, and one day you too can grow up to be a boat driver just like me. That's something better, right? Right. On the left side of the boat, this building was completed in 1921 to the mid-1950s, known as the CPS building. The mid-50s to the mid-70s, known as the Commerce Bank building. Late 70s, the building was vacated and vacant until 1999. This is when the jury and the suites people came out this way. They purchased the building, cleaned it up, presented it as we see it now. Restoration and renovation is the name of the game in regards to the buildings here in the downtown area from the 1920s. Coming to Floodgate 3 brought us into the second half of the horseshoe pattern. Natural course San Antonio River going to flow. River depth shores up to anywhere from 3 to 10 foot deep. Recall Floodgate 4 comes up out of the water. Floodgate 3 comes down into the water. And this ideal bottlenecks and protects the water in the area of the horseshoe pattern within itself, warding off against floodwaters when the heavy rains fall. Now looking to the right side of the river, you will see the Aztec Theater, the only surviving example of a big themed movie house built alongside the river. In fact, there used to be 8 of these Aztec Mayan themed movie houses located throughout the state of Texas. This is the only one still standing from 1926. It's very detailed on the inside, not so much so on the outside. 1926. Notice the building next to the Aztec Theater. That was once the site of the L. Frank Saddlery Company. We used to supply saddles for the likes of Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders, Pancho Villa and his Revolutionaries, the French, the British, and the American forces during World War I. From 1901 to 1923, they occupied the site. What's there today is known as the Mocaro Hotel and Spa. You know, they do shoot scenes from movies, segments of shows, commercials and such every now and then along the walk. In fact, This footbridge here before us